An American walks into a bar in Australia and says, "I'll have a Bud Light." The bartender replies, "You're an American, right?" The guy says, "How did you know? Was it the beer or my accent?" To which the bartender replies, "Neither, you're the fattest fuck I've ever seen in my life." So this blonde sees a building on fire. She pulls out her phone and calls 911. Dispatch says, "Hello 911, what's your emergency?" The blonde says, "Oh my God, there's a building on fire." Dispatch says, "What is the address?" The blonde says, "I don't know." Dispatch says, "Okay, how do we get there?" The blonde says, "Duh, red truck." I went for a job interview today and the manager said, "We're looking for someone who is responsible." "Well, I'm your man," I replied. In my last job, whenever anything went wrong, they said I was responsible. A boy aged 4 says to his father, "Dad, I've decided to get married." The dad says, "Wonderful, do you have a girl in mind?" "Yes, Grandma, she said she loves me and I love her too. And she's the best cook and storyteller in the whole world." "That's nice, but we have a small problem there." "What problem?" "She happens to be my mother." "How can you marry my mother?" "Why not? You married mine." A driver asks a police officer, "What am I supposed to do with this speeding ticket?" The officer says, "Keep it. When you collect 4 of them, you get a bicycle." A husband says to his wife, "When I get mad, you never fight back. How do you control your anger?" The wife says, "I clean the toilet." The husband asks, "How does that help?" The wife replies, "I use your toothbrush." A doctor made a mistake and unknowingly prescribed his patient a powerful laxative instead of cough drops. At the end of the week, the patient comes back for a checkup. The doctor asks him, "So, how's it going, Mr. Williams? Do you still cough a lot?" The patient, who's been standing there very rigidly, looks at him with wide eyes. "No, I'm afraid to." A driver picks up a hitchhiker. The hitchhiker says, "Thanks for picking me up. Most people won't." "How do you know I'm not a serial killer?" The driver says, "What are the odds? 2 serial killers in the same car?" A teacher was giving a math lesson and she asked one of her students, "If you had $2 and you asked your father for another, how many dollars would you have?" The student replied, $2. "Not quite," the teacher responded. "Sounds like you don't know your addition." "No," the student said. "You just don't know my father." 2 psychiatrists are taking a walk and happen to come upon a person lying bleeding from a stab wound. One of them says to the other, "The person who did this really needs our help."